And then the other thing too, and I know that this gets said at the Pioneer conferences, it gets said everywhere, that MedSync is that cornerstone to be able to do everything else. I always try to stress, and we're far from perfect at our pharmacies, and we're working there. But if I'm only at 25 or 30% synced, that means the rest of my day is anywhere from 75 or 70% guessing. Whereas if we can sync and get across that 50% threshold, maybe to 60 or 70, then your day is a lot more manageable to be able to plan those things out.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's not even only that, but also if you're looking at a patient's drug therapies like very sporadically throughout the month and moving drugs through, you're really not managing all of those alerts and warnings and the same way that you do with that appointment-based model. So much changes when you're looking at that patient's medication regimen as a whole, other than, let me get this refilled or on the way. So it's a much different kind of intentionality.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that's happening here in Pennsylvania with our own pharmacy care network, is that we recently have gotten a new contract where they're willing to, have a reimbursement for adherence and for syncing. But one of the other things they're wanting us to do and willing to reimburse is med reconciliation and risk assessment. And when you think about it, if I'm onboarding anybody, and I still take this back to when I was doing my residency, is that first meeting with that patient or caregiver, that's when you want to do that full assessment. That's when you want to find out, what are they really taking? What aren't they really taking? And then that's the time to work with their doctor or their healthcare professionals to streamline that. And that could be a win-win for a lot of people, that, one, you're going to, maybe simplify their regimen, but two, especially if you're using some technology like, adherence packaging technology, whether it's the baggie system or multi-bubble, the more you can streamline it to the pharmacy, it could be a win-win for both the patient and the pharmacy, so that if somebody's on 15 medications, but they're taking a lot of things 4 or 5 times a day, whereas we could get them maybe to a drug once a day. Well, that's a win for them. And it also may be a win for us because, our technology is not having to overwork.
Yeah, we recently added a feature in PioneerRx called events. And basically this allows you to, record that interaction. So if you do have a new patient that came to you, something happened. So it may have been a routine flu shot and you've converted them into, a patient at your pharmacy, but it could be something like they went for their annual wellness visit, found out they have high blood pressure, and now they have this whole new, chronic disease state that is kind of weighing on their daily decisions there. And, it's a life-changing event. So being able to record that, or, if it's something much more complex, one of those patients that maybe just got moved to the area or just came out of the hospital, being able to record that event and have that history. But then, like you said, too, the med rec, which is also an area we have in the software, because that patient understanding and duplicate therapies, they come out of the hospital with all new medications, but they've still got the old ones sitting on their dresser at home. So many opportunities for that to create issues if you're not proactive.